If I thought you were going to the Planet of the Apes, I would want to tag along too, just for the adventure. And I would probably dress like Indiana Jones too, and carry a gun, because I don't have superpowers. Welcome to the heart of the stories we tell. My name is Rob, and tonight I will be reviewing Flash Episode 13, Attack on Gorilla City, the first part of a two-part series. I'm really enjoying The Flash, and right now we're still in the ramp up to the season finale, because we still have the whole Savitar thing going on, but right now they're in a team-building set of episodes, because we've got all of our speedsters coming together and having to work on a problem, and that's about all I can say before we throw this up here. So once again, it's stop. Spoiler time. It starts off with Jesse coming from last week and saying, hey, my dad's in trouble. You remember Jesse as the one that got the hots for Wally, and I said that I think that Wells and Joe were trying to get grandkids last season out of. But okay, now they're working together as Kid Flash and Jesse Quick. And that's kind of cool, because like I said, this is a whole build-up to all the speedsters from the comics. When she first shows up, of course, she has to make the mistake of thinking one Harry is another Harry, because, yeah, Wellception is going deep. And as usual, Tom Cavanaugh is an awesome actor who gets to play yet another part, because Grodd takes him over at one point. But okay, the teams get split up, and Julian decides that not only is he going to cover for Barry, but he's going to come with him, which is my opening joke. And the whole reason is because he has the hots for Caitlin. And totally, I do not have any problem with that, because I totally get that. But I want you to think back to the beginning of the season for a moment, and then listen to exactly what this means is going on. Alright, so we still have two Harrison Wells, and the two Harrison Wells, one of them is back on our Earth, and the other one is on Earth 2, held by Gorilla City. With me so far? Good. The team we've assembled to stop him is, of course, the Flash, and Vibe, and we've decided to bring along Killer Frost and Dr. Alchemy as our backup. Yeah, if I had said that at the opening of the season as my guess as to how this was going to play out, you'd all thought I was nuts. Now, this episode has a whole bunch of cool things and a whole bunch of BS things, but one of the coolest is the introduction of Solivar. Solivar is from Gorilla City, and in the comics is an ally to the Justice League, and was actually on the Justice League for a while. It also has some cool action sequences, and especially with Kid Flash and Jesse working together. However, the whole premise of it has some flaws. I just want to talk for a second about how fast the Flash is. He's fast enough to run back in time, he's fast enough to outrun a bullet, he's fast enough to not fall for traps. Seriously. In the time it takes him to say the words, oh no, it's a trap, he could have been on the other side of the planet. But routinely, this is what they do in the show. They conveniently forget the super speed. They do it over and over again. And they did it in the big fight sequence. Like, remember how I just said one of the cool things they did was the fight sequence? Well, I want you to think about that fight sequence between Flash and Solivar. The previous fight with Gorilla Grodd showcased strength versus speed. The fact was that Grodd was just fast enough to give Barry a run for his money and was tough enough to take all of his punches. Plus the telepathic powers, and it just was overwhelming for a new speedster. But this is Solivar. Solivar didn't have any of that. He didn't know he was facing a speedster. He'd never fought one before. And on top of that, he was just brute forcing it. And somehow he was, I mean, seriously, just when he was running around and around, why couldn't he throw the lightning much quicker? Why couldn't he land 1,000 blows on Solivar? The fight should have been over, and the show does this all the time. They forget they're dealing with a speedster. And this is one of the big worries I have coming up, because they're introducing more and more speedsters. Right now we have Jesse and Kid Flash, and we have Jay from last season. And I'm hoping still to see Bart and Max and all of the others. But realistically, what's going to happen when we have 10 speedsters on the show? What's happening now that we've got 3 or 4? We have things like this where, oops, we forgot what moving at super speed means. And Gorilla Grodd, who by all accounts should be a major threat, is just a joke. What do you guys think? When they use these things, when they make Flash not fast enough, what does that mean to you? Does that deprive you of the story? Does it make you feel like it's a cheat? Speaking of cheats, there's also yet another thing that we brought up. The whole, oh, if I use my ice powers, the ice will affect my heart and make me cold and turn me into Killer Frost, and I can't possibly have superpowers and be a good guy like everyone else I know. Not that I thought killing Vibe was a good plan to begin with. In fact, it might be one of the dumbest plans. But you know what's almost equally as dumb? Oh, wait, let me fake this person's death so that they will be dragged out of the power dampening cell. Because, there'd be no reason to leave a dead body in the cell. I can already foresee where this is going and what the next episode is going to be all about. They're going to have to put Solivar back in lead, and to do so, they're going to have to deal with changing the entire way Gorilla City works and team up with him and make him trust them. And of course, it's going to be after the guerrilla invasion of our city, and as such, yet another line towards the Savitar future. Just two last thoughts before we go. One, the other day I was watching Supergirl's Valentine's Day episode, and man, why can't the people who rate these relationships rate those relationships? It's the same writing team, isn't it? This is so much better handled on The Flash. And still not the best handling of everything, but I really loved all the interpersonal moments, especially with Kid Flash and Jesse at the end. However, of course, the absolute end is the fact that Grodd had a backup plan, because that's what makes Grodd scary. Not being fast, being smart. And he's going to use another little relationship to his advantage. So next week, not only are we getting part 2 of this, we're going to get our next Gypsy episode. I'd love for you to join me back here next week when we cover that one, so please subscribe, like, and share my channel to help me build this community as we use it to walk through the heart of all of the stories we tell. And thanks for watching. Have a good night.